Cherries are the quintessential fruit of summer in Michigan. As one of the leading producers both of sweet and tart cherries in the U.S., Michigan is truly a cherry lover's dream. Montmorency is the most common tart cherry grown in Michigan. The sweet tart Balaton is a newer variety, and Napoleon, Ulster, and Queen Anne are just a few of the many sweet cherry varieties grown in the state. Cherries are not only delightful to eat, they are also fun to pick. Seeing a pail fill up with these ruby red jewels is a favorite summer treat. The sweets ripen first, usually in late June, with the tarts following about 3 weeks later in July. Call your local U-Pick farm to see when they are ready, as times vary each year and in different parts of the state. Richard Frisky of Frisky Orchards in Ellsworth shows us how to pick both sweet and tart cherries.
When picking cherries, one of the things to decide is whether you want them with the stem or not. And if they don't come off very easily, you should pick them with the stem. See, I pulled that one off, and I was not trying to do that, but it came off so hard that it took a big chunk out of the top of the cherry. And that doesn't really hurt anything if you're going to eat the cherries very soon. But if you want them to keep longer, it's nice to have the stems on them. So these cherries really should be picked with the stems. So to pick with stems, you pretty much have to grasp the stem and just pull back kind of in an upward direction. And sometimes you can do every single cherry separately, or quite often they're multiples in a little cluster, and you can take off more than one. And then the other thing, it's always nice not to drop them too much. So when you put them in your bucket, don't just drop them from too high. Put them in there fairly gently.
Remember to dress for the weather and wear comfortable closed-toed shoes. Be prepared with sunscreen, bug spray, and water. No one can resist sampling a few cherries fresh off the tree, but save most of your eating until after you've paid for what you've picked and cleaned it as necessary. Freshly picked cherries travel best in a cooler on the ride home, especially in hot weather. Store fresh cherries that you plan to eat soon in the refrigerator. For longer-term storage, remove the pits, then freeze or dry them so that you can enjoy your Michigan cherries long after summer is over.